Welcome to Rokani Media Football. Mikel Arteta has gone ahead to endorse Lucas Paqueta signing. Then Gabriel Magalhaes, obviously, he's being linked to a move away from Juventus, and I'm really going to let you the reason as to why that is like souls in there for you. Then Fabrizio Romano has come out and really lightened on how Arsenal are really doing their transfers in a very silent way, and a man who goes by the names of Edu is so much unpredictable on who is really going to go on and sign in there for you. He has a clip, he has a clue on who he wants to sign, but he has really told us that it's hard to come out and predict who is really going to go for into this summer. Otherwise, how are you? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and this is Rokani Media Football in there for you. Liverpool has been beaten by United 4-0 away in Bangkok, Thailand, and that's what the result was in there like 4 hours ago. United really got the triumph and they won the Century Cup of Bangkok in there for you, with Sancho on the score sheet, Martial on the score sheet, Freddy with the beautiful link, and Facundo Pelestri going ahead to do the needful in there to put United into a perfect lead against Liverpool in there for you. But one thing that we really got to know about Liverpool is that to compete at a high level, you need players. This is something that even Arsenal fans should learn in there for you, because Liverpool made how many substitutions? Each and every 30 minutes, Liverpool brought on 10 players. That means they had a 30-man full squad. Now, it goes to the supporters of Arsenal. How many players do you have? Because this time Arsenal looks like they're stretching themselves so hard to go in and win what we call the Premier League, or go to the Champions League. When you look at the clubs Arsenal is competing with, that is Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, and Liverpool. All of those teams have close to 30 players. You get? So I think that's why Mikel Arteta and Edu are really working hard to go on and really bring in these players immediately, because they want to match the levels of those players. And if at all you want to go where the big boys are, we're supposed to do what we call the big boy moves. So Arsenal are really trying to do the big boy moves in there for you to go in and bring in players. So that is something I really learned from that game, that ask yourself, if Liverpool can field 10 players in every 30 minutes, those are the three every 30 minutes they bring in 10 players. You have to pose that question to yourself. Can my team do that? Can my team do that? That's the big question that you're supposed to go in there and really question yourself, because it's really called for. And to make it worse, the first two sessions, there was no Mohamed Salah, there was no Virgil van Dijk, no Konate, no Robertson, no Trent Alexander-Arnold, no Fabinho, no Naby Keita, no Diego Dalot, Diego Jota, no Darwin Núñez. So that was the last shift they brought in. You get? And they are competing. Therefore, though, United really gave them a beating of their lives today. But that is a positive that I've learned from Liverpool in there for you. Otherwise, let's leave that at that, because I thought that it was so much crucial to pose that question to all the people watching in this channel, that the team you support, can it field 3 teams of 10 men every 30 minutes in a game? Can it? In this preseason, looks like Liverpool is so much prepared in there to go in and get this to the level where Jurgen Klopp really wants it to be in there for you. So that's why Mikel Arteta is pushing in for 7 signings. He said, I want 7 signings. So far, he has brought in 4, 3 to go, and that's why we're talking about Lucas Paqueta, that Mikel Arteta has gone ahead to endorse the signing of Lucas Paqueta in there for you. So let's go eyes in there for you. DiMarzio, you know him very well. He's a football transfer expert for years. He works for Sky Sports either for you. He's an international reporter. He went ahead to tell us that Juve have Gabriel Magalhaes from Arsenal as one of their options in case Matthias de Ligt leaves, but Arsenal are not willing to sell whatsoever. So obviously we know that Bayern Munich are so much interested in signing Matthias de Ligt. Even Matthias de Ligt now decided which goes on Chelsea and said, I'm not going to Chelsea, I'm going to Bayern Munich. That is what Matthias de Ligt said, and Chelsea have gone on to hijack Koulibaly. It would be replacement for Matthias de Ligt if at all he went to a side which goes by the names of Bayern Munich. And guess what? Juventus is saying we are eyeing Gabriel Magalhaes. Gabriel Magalhaes is really a very talented player, not an injury-prone player, proved beyond reasonable doubt. To me, he was one of the top 5 best central defenders in the Premier League last season, though I never saw very many tabloids or pundits coming out and really giving him the hails or the praise he really deserved. But to me, I really believe that he was one of the best central defenders in the Premier League. And him being the best central defender in the Premier League, teams like Juventus will look at him and say, all right, you are not worth to be playing at Arsenal. Come this side. That's what they're going to go and say, mockingly, because that's a mock to side which goes by names of Arsenal in there for you. But all I want to let you know is that Arsenal is not selling Gabriel Magalhaes. And with the rebuild Arsenal is really having and doing, they cannot sell him. Trust me. They cannot sell Gabriel Magalhaes. They can't. No way Arsenal is selling Gabriel Magalhaes. And Gabriel Magalhaes looks like he has settled into this team and he's going nowhere. Brazilians are coming in and Lucas Paqueta is being looked at to come in as the 5th Brazilian in there for you. So where is he going? Nowhere. And I think Juventus, however much they're looking at Gabriel Magalhaes, they should try elsewhere. They should try elsewhere. But Gabriel Magalhaes is not for sale as far as Arsenal is concerned. And when you look at this being a World Cup year, even if he wants to get a move to a side which goes by the names of Juventus, it will be hard for him because he will really go ahead and think that, am I really going to go to Juventus and really fit in like a glove as I really fit in at Arsenal? Because at Arsenal is a guaranteed starter. That's where he really started to get in his call-ups of the national team when he was playing for Arsenal. So he really, I think for him, what he has in his mind is that let me be at Arsenal, I play these games, I go to Qatar. I really believe that he's one of those players that should start in the central defense of Brazil alongside Thiago Silva, because to me he's better than Marquinhos. He's better than Marquinhos. He's better than Marquinhos. That's it. He gives you hard work, talent, and flair. He has really got a lot to his game than what Marquinhos gives you in there for you. So to me, I really believe that Gabriel cannot really miss out on this chance of going to a side which goes by names of staying at a side which goes by names of Arsenal, because going to Juventus, everyone would like to go to play for Juventus, especially him in there for you. He might want to be playing in the Premier League, in the Champions League, but this is the project that your manager, Mikel Arteta, started to build when you are part of it. You are integral. Now, why do you leave out a project that you are part of it that is just years away from it being successful to a project of Juventus that they can go in and really buy another central defender to come in and compete with you? Because that's what Juventus does. Juventus will go on to poach everywhere to look for a central defender. That's what they do. So Allegri, having pure interest in Gabriel Magalhaes, won't really be accepted by Arsenal. Arsenal won't accept this because Gabriel Magalhaes, when you look at him, let me check in here. Let me check Gabriel Magalhaes. Where are you, Magalhaes? I want to see his contract. How long is his contract? Because he came in 2020. I remember very well. I remember it like yesterday. He came in 2020 because United was so much interested in him. He was so much interested in him and really went to Arsenal. Therefore, so he's really a very good left-footed player. And in the modern game, every team would like a defender like Gabriel Magalhaes to play on the left side of the central defense when you are really left-footed. So I think Mikel Arteta can't miss out on that and make that mistake. His contract expires in 2025. He still has a contract with Arsenal. Those are 3 more years at Arsenal. And to me, when he really plays this year off, Arsenal are really going to give him an improved contract. They're going to add him more salary because it looks more promising. So he's so much happy to see Gabriel Jesus in there for you, the Martinellis, the Marquinhos, Fabio Vieiras, and they're going in for Lucas Paqueta. So he can't really miss out on such an opportunity in there for you because he believes that a side which goes whenever Arsenal is really on the right side. Obviously, Mikel Arteta is doing the right rebuild in there for you. Now, we have a story coming in from Simprasia in there for you saying that Arsenal are interested in Lucas Paqueta. Obviously, Edu has already spoken to the players' representatives that Arsenal will look to make an official offer for him during the window. So these stories coming in about Lucas Paqueta are really increasingly showing that Arsenal are really chasing for this guy. They need him to come in and fit into this Arsenal squad because they believe that He plays in every attacking position of the midfield, and Arsenal will need him a lot because he's a versatile player. Versatility is what he brings at you, is what he brings for you at Arsenal in there for you, as being reported in there for you. So I 100% believe that story, that Arsenal are ill in for him now. UOL Esporti, that is from France, has said Arsenal appear the main candidate to sign Lyon midfielder Lucas Paqueta, with conversations taking place between both clubs. Paqueta has already had his name approved by Mikel Arteta and is close to a due Gaspar. Lyon wants 60 million euros minimum to consider his sale in there. That is like 55 million pounds. To me, I believe that if Arsenal were going in for Rafinha to pay close to 66 million pounds or 55 million pounds, I think even on Paqueta, it's okay, because Arsenal looks like they're there to spend. You get in Paqueta, you get in another player who's really going to do a lot of things in there for you. He can do the Rafinha role. He can play off the right side of that attacking midfield. He can play there very well. He can play centrally. He can play on the left side of the attacking midfield. So you can use him anywhere you want, provided you are talking about the forward going, the forward game, forward positions. You can have Paqueta in there for you. So they are telling us that Mikel Arteta has already approved this guy. Paqueta is approved by Mikel Arteta, and Arteta wants him at the side, which goes by names of Arsenal. So we are here to wait and see how this thing is really going to go on and prevail in there for you, for Lucas Paqueta in there for you, because it's really great for Arsenal to have players like them, because it looks like they're building a Brazilian empire. Because when you bring in Lucas Paqueta, that means you're adding up the number to 5. The number of Brazilians Arsenal will be having will be now 5. So, and almost all of those, only one won't be guaranteed to be a starter into that team. That is Marquinhos, the 19-year-old, who reminds me about Douglas Costa. His figure, all his grow up, his body build up is like that of Douglas Costa. And I think they have the same style of play. So Arsenal might have really got themselves a very good signing there for you. But Mikel Arteta has gone ahead to approve the signing of Lucas Paqueta, and this is close to a do Gaspar in there for you. So we wait and see where this is really going to end and go. Then Gabe Caneiro has gone ahead to tell us that Arsenal and Lyon are in ongoing discussions for Lucas Paqueta. There is no hurry between the clubs. The price wanted by Lyon is 60 million euros. Lucas wants to make a sporting and financial leap for his career and hope the move materializes. Obviously, as reported earlier, we told you that he really wants a move to the Premier League. The Premier League is now the most watched league in the world, and Brazilians way back, we are not flourishing in the Premier League, but nowadays, because the way the game of football is being played in the Premier League and the coaches that are really being brought in, it has totally changed. All Brazilian players are fitting in. Let me give you an example. The Brazilian players that fit in Arsenal, we are not those that really had a very good flair. We look at Gilberto Silva, he was that hard-working man who played into the defensive role. Edu Gaspar used to play as a left back. He played in the central midfield. You get, so it was very hard way back to find a Brazilian who is really exciting and playing forward areas of the attack to be flourishing in the Premier League. Look, remember people like Fabinho. No, it was called who? This guy they bought, Man City bought from Real Madrid. Is he Fabinho? Robinho. All right, I've got the name Robinho. When you remember Robinho was really talented, but he came in at Man City, but he never really thrived at Man City. You know what at all? He never did he thrive at Man City in the for you. United brought in Kleberson. Kleberson was one of the best players that played well in the World Cup of 2002, but he flopped at Manchester United. You get very many Brazilian players that really come in and really flopped in there. But right now, there is a very good intended program in the Premier League to bring in coaches that are really elite, top-notch coaches that really believe in total football. And now Brazilian players are really having that hunger to come in and play in the Premier League. That's good in there for you. So Paqueta is coming to the Premier League and he really wants to make a sporting and a financial leap in there for you. He needs money. That's it, because Arsenal will get him the money, and then he wants that sporting leap because he has been at Lyon after he left Inter Milan. Now he has left he wants to leave and come to the Premier League because he believes that that's where his goods are supposed to be showcased, especially the sporting goods in there for you. Then Charles Watts, an Arsenal correspondent for Goal, has told us that Lucas Paqueta Endorses believe that Arsenal will make a bid for the player. He could potentially fit as a left-sided 8 in Arteta's 4-3-3 in there for you. So when you hear him playing in Arteta's 4-3-3, it shows you that that's where Rafinha was going to play at Arsenal, because the reason of bringing in Rafinha was simple: getting Rafinha to fight for that position with Bukayo Saka. And I really believe that Bukayo Saka won't last at Arsenal. I'm sorry to say it, but I believe that Arsenal are not having so much plans for Bukayo Saka. Reason being, he's going to be the first Arsenal player to have a buyout clause in his contract. The management at Arsenal believes that in the next 2 years, either Man City or Liverpool are going to come in to cash in for this lad. And Arsenal want to put in a buyout clause of £150 million, because if Aston Villa sold Jack Grealish at £100 million, why not buy Bukayo Saka, who is really performing well at a better team than Aston Villa, at £150 million? So Arsenal might be really using Bukayo Saka to help them blossom their squad, because you sell Bukayo Saka at £150 million, that means Arsenal can go in and bring in close to 3 players worth £50 million that can really strengthen their squad. I'm not a prophet of doom that I'm really dooming Arsenal in there for you that they'll sell Bukayo Saka, but it looks like Arsenal are really preparing for that situation in there for you. Bukayo Saka, because they brought in Marquinhos, he plays the same side. They wanted Rafinha, you get, and now they're going in for Paqueta to come in and play to that position in there for you. But Paqueta is really a very talented player that will come in to add on the goals that Arsenal really has to score in there for you. Then Cabe Kenero says Lucas Paqueta accepted a pay cut to join the League One side when moving from Milan. It is said this is one of the arguments his staff has been using to convince his club of making a more friendly sale in there for you. So this is something I never knew, that from Inter Milan, he came in and said, all right, I'm getting a pay cut to join Lyon because all I want is to get enough playing time. Regular football is what I'm calling for, so I can sacrifice my salary by a certain percentage and then get enough playing time. That's what Paqueta said. So his team and entourage are really talking to Jean-Michel Aulas, the president of Lyon, that please don't really slash that price of 60 million euros onto the player, because he came in here and he really cut short his salary, and you guys, you've benefited from him, haven't you? Now, at least come in and really get a friendly sell. Let's get a friendly price to it that he can really get the move he wants in there for you. Obviously, Lyon is willing to sell, but they really want to get a lot of money from this guy. That's what Jean-Michel Aulas is all about in there for you. So this team of Paqueta is telling Jean-Michel Aulas, the president of Lyon, that please don't overprice this player, because you'll overprice him off the market and the suitors will run away, because Newcastle had made a £34 million bid and they rejected it. Now Arsenal is in. A bidding war is expected between Arsenal and Newcastle in there for you, because loads of these players are really so much connected to these two teams in there for you. But it looks like Arsenal is really going to go into a bidding war with Newcastle, because Newcastle are looking for Moussa Diaby. Arsenal is looking on him, and Paqueta, they are looking on him too. So we are waiting to see who is taking Moussa Diaby, who is taking Paqueta in the mix in there for you. Then Paqueta, Freddie Paxson has come out and told us that Arsenal sent scouts to watch him last season. Arteta is a fan, no official bid yet. All right. So you now know what it's all about. It's all about things concerning Paqueta joining a side which goes by the name of Arsenal. Arsenal really sent their scouts to watch this guy play, and they've scouted him. And just know when they're really making their scouts, when they're making their scouting, they scout like 4 players in a different position. They had the first choice. In that position, the first choice was Rafinha. He went to Barcelona. Now it's Paqueta. There is Moussa Diaby. There is, which other player? There is Edon Zogrova in there for you. So they are now on to their second choice. The first choice went to Barcelona. It was not because they never had the money. They had the money, but Rafinha wanted to go to Barcelona, not Arsenal in there for you. So we wait and see where Arsenal will go on and really get these deals done in there for him, because Fabrizio has this to say. He says that on Edu, he was via the Court Offside podcast. He said, with Edu at the helm, they are a more serious horse in the transfer market. He has a very strong relationship with Mikel Arteta and is proving a key figure, with his consideration among agents always higher in there for you. So it looks like Edu knows a lot of agents. Why? He was at Corinthians, but came in at Arsenal, and he was a football director there. And you know that very many agents in Europe and the teams in Europe always go to that side of Brazil to buy players. So Edu knows a lot of agents. Him knowing a lot of agents, and he's so much connected to the owners of the clubs, it's very easy for him to negotiate these deals. That's what Fabrizio is trying to let you know, that he is really considered a key figure, you get, because he knows these agents and he talks to them. So it's easy for him to really crack a deal, and his scouting network is way above the ordinary, because he has been into this business for some long time. We're in Brazil. In Brazil, agents are everywhere, scouts are everywhere, and he knows that Paqueta is coming in from Brazil. And when talking about Brazilian connections, you ask yourself, where does Edu come from? Comes in from Brazil. Where does Paqueta come in from? Comes in Brazil. So it looks like they know one another very well, and Edu is really going to be a key figure into this Arsenal transfer in here for you. But he told us that, Fabrizio Romano says it's not always easy to know what Arsenal will do next, because Edu prefers to work in silence. That's what is really making this deal hard in there for you, because Arsenal is really trying to pass underground in silence to get in players. I think Edu would prefer to get in on his signings like how he really did on Fabio Vieira, something that us in here won't really like, because we want to get you the news, because we are really so much onto feeding our people the news, and they'll come out and ask us, have they signed so and so? So we believe that Edu, please change your style of play. I know you believe that when the news leaks, suitors will come in through and bidding wars will go in, you'll end up spending lots of money, but I really believe that this is the business that you are into. In this era of social media, it's very hard to come in through and do a deal unnoticed. That of Fabio Vieira, I think they had even agreed it far way better than we knew. But that of Gabriel Jesus, you can't really get it unnoticed. Even that of Paqueta, because he's really an established player. For any established player, there is no established player that Arsenal is going to go in for, and we won't get a notice. That's it. However much he's trying to do it in silence, but he can't really do every deal in silence. The only deal he can do in silence is the deal of players that are not established, like Fabio Vieira. You get? So I will believe that we are really going to get in more news about Arsenal in there for you. Then Fabrizio Romano came out and told us that Rafinha to Barca, here we go. Full agreement in there for you. Rich leads in there for you. And he is out onto that level in there for you. And finally, Rafinha has left. Finally, he's off the shelf in there for you. I really felt bad, because the way Rafinha was making rounds all over media, you thought like it was Kylian Mbappe crossing from PSG to Liverpool, Manchester United. You thought like it was a Neymar, a Ronaldo, a Messi. A lot of buzz was so much on him. 3 clubs were really running after him, and I was asking myself, oh, what does this player has that has really made him so special into the news? But finally, it's done. After Rafinha said, I'm not going to Arsenal, and he said, I'm going to a side which goes by Barcelona, I'm not going to Chelsea. That is how Barcelona have really made their bid today of 58 million euros, and has been accepted. And now we are waiting to see what is really going to happen into the deal in here for you, for what Arsenal is really going to go on and do. Because I've talked about Rafinha, because Paqueta is coming in as a second choice. Rafinha was the first choice target as a left-footed player to play on the right side of the 4-3-3 attack of Arteta and Arsenal. And then he really went to Barcelona. Now, him going to Barcelona, but Arsenal are really looking at Paqueta, another Brazilian, coming at Arsenal in there for you. So feel free to get in the comment section. Tell me what you think about Gabriel Magalhaes. Juventus is all over him. They are looking at him as a perfect replacement for Matthias de Ligt, because Matthias de Ligt obviously is leaving a side which goes by the names of Juventus to Bayern Munich. Then Lucas Paqueta, Mikel Arteta has endorsed the signing of Lucas Paqueta at Arsenal. That's what I had for you guys. Good night. It looks like it's our last video of the day, and we promise to come back tomorrow so much heavier in there for you. But you never know, I might come in there with a live stream, because Raheem Sterling is all over the news, and we believe that we can get some good stories out of him in there for you. But all in all, we are good to go. I think you guys are really enjoying the channel. Tell me, what stories do you miss? What type of content do you want in there for you? Because you can share. You can share ideas with me, because they say, let many advise you, but decision making remains yours. So if at all you give me some of your views, I can really see them through. And if at all they are working for us, I can go ahead and really bring them live onto this channel in there for you. I know you guys are really wanting more live streams. They are coming. They are coming. They are coming. There are things I'm still sorting out, because I really feel like I need to first get an inverter, because power is a problem this side in my country. Power is a problem. So it's always worse when you're really doing a live and then power goes off. You get then we're off. So I really believe that we are really going to first sort that problem. Then we'll be having more lives more often onto this channel. I'm out. May the Almighty God protect you abundantly, and may His hand really see you go through the worst and the best that you're experiencing. I'm out.